We're back. You're watching the Jersey City Show. Pat O'Neill, you here? You know who you are. Like I said, you can tweet us at JC Hudson Media, and the website's patshows.com. I was kind of stumbling in the opening there. There you can watch all our programming. County at Large, Keith has a new show there. And Shore Show. I taped one of the new shows there. It's on the website. And the guest is John Cameron. He's the BA for Seaside. Where are we now? We're going to Fulop and Pre-Ks. Oh, this is an old favorite of mine, Pre-K. I have a problem sending 3-year-olds to school. I've talked about this before. Now it's becoming a bigger problem here in Jersey City. Steve Fulop, like de Blasio in New York City, is big on this preschool thing. You know, how did we get here? It amazes me that we made it. You know, in the old days, we didn't send 3-year-olds to school. They didn't go to school until they were 5. You were with their parents. There was bonding. All these things happen. You know, now the parents, and in a lot of cases, both parents work. And you know, when my kids were young, they went to daycare. We paid for it. You know, they didn't go to the public school. They didn't go until kindergarten. And it amazes me that this is a requirement. You wonder why the schools are crowded. But how did we make it this far without pre-K? How did the auto industry start? How did Henry Ford create the assembly line and develop the modern automobile for the masses? He didn't go to pre-K. We didn't have pre-K then. We started NASA in the 50s. None of these guys went to pre-K. We went to the moon. 1969, we hit the moon. Color TV, television, all here without pre-K. The greatest country in the world without pre-K. Geniuses. You know, we talked about in the opening with Obama giving out the internet, giving the internet away. It was invented here. No pre-K. We didn't have any of this. We cured polio. Actually, we used to cure diseases in the old days. I don't think we've cured a disease in 50, 60 years. We don't seem to do that anymore. You know, smallpox, we cured it. Polio, we cured it. You know, we were able to do things in the old days without pre-K. But now, you gotta have pre-K. There was an industrial revolution in the United States without pre-K. The kids were home with their parents. With their mother, at least. Without pre-K. Skyscrapers, cities were developed. We got to 50 states, all without pre-K. How did we do it? Computers were invented. Steve Jobs didn't go to pre-K. Didn't invent the computer, but he kind of modernized it. Then him and IBM, but you got to forget, don't forget Gates, he was in there with the disk operating system that he kind of stole from Steve Gates and Apple. This all happened in the United States without pre-K. We used to do things. We didn't have to go to school all the time. You want to know why the schools are crowded? Because of pre-K. Those trailers in the schoolyards, they're full of 3-year-old kids. They should be home with their mothers. That's how this country prospered. How we became a national, a worldwide power. Mom, apple pie, Chevrolet. That was how it was done. And it was done without pre-K. It was done with the family unit. Einstein, I guarantee you didn't go to pre-K. We did all this without pre-K. The Jersey City Board of Education is telling Steve Fulop, we can't afford pre-K. Fulop is telling developers, build pre-K space in your developments, and I'll give you an extra 10 years on the abatement, and you can rent this space to the Board of Ed. Well, the developers want big bucks. The Board of Ed doesn't have big bucks. The Board of Ed can't afford pre-K. You can't afford pre-K. That's why we had to keep building schools, because of pre-K. And the other thing is development. We keep bringing these people in. Yeah, let's build another 600-unit apartment building or condominium, whatever the hell you want, a residential building. They're abated, so they're not paying school taxes anyway. And then their kids are here, they got to go to school. But that development isn't paying part of the school budget. No, it is mom and dad. The one family here in Jersey City. They're the ones paying the school bill. We need to look at this. You know, school was for teaching, not to raise your kids, not a place where you dropped your kids off so you can go back and watch Maury. You know, I can appreciate this if both parents are working, but then they can afford daycare. That's what both my kids did. One's going to be a doctor by the end of this year, it looks like. The other one's got 2 degrees. They didn't go to pre-K. All right, we're going to break for commercial. I know some parents crying at me right now, throwing things at the TV. We'll be right back.